Hi, it's me. Welcome to the stream. If you saw the first 5 minutes of the stream, no you didn't. um, my OBS for some reason last time was like, hey, these settings will probably be good for your stream. And so I put them on, and then, it started out with my, I don't remember what KBPS is, but it made it go to red, and it was double the normal amount. So now we're here. Anywho. I didn't backstream a couple nights ago, if you managed to catch that. I took it off of the channel, but I have the VOD saved on my computer. I have not finished that project, just by the by. That project has not been finished yet. So I wasn't able to give it as a Christmas present, but... Alright, put me in, coach. Oh, for God's sake. Letter off, letter and output. It's been about like 2 weeks since I last played this game. We're probably still going to not do very well at it, but
Sega.
Oh, for goodness sake. I swear to God. It's doing the thing again where it doesn't like to, where it like cuts off the, it'll be easier if I just like press start and show you, but like, you know. And then give it a second. Game's loading. Oh, no, there we go. Continue. Oh no, it looks fine right now. It was looking goofy for a second. Alright. Let me just run and see. Yeah, nope, okay. Give me a second to... actually I probably can just deactivate and then activate. See if that works. Okay, yeah, it looks normal now. But the game did put me where I originally was instead of at the start. Yeah, the top part was like desynced. Sometimes that happens with this particular capture card, so... I thought I was gonna go back to the beginning, but I didn't, for some reason. Anywho, I hope you are having a nice, Boxing Day, first day of Kwanzaa, some other, holiday that apparently exists in Australia that I don't know about. It's just been a day for me. Not, like, neutral. Fully neutral, it's just been a day for me. Nothing's really happened. But hopefully we'll actually finish this particular, level. That would be nice to do. Oh, you know what I didn't turn on? I didn't turn on my, my ring light, so my head tracking might be a little bit not as great at the moment. I don't know. Oh, jeez and crackers. I fully do not remember the stage from last time, aside from the ending, because the ending I kept messing up on. Okay, Sonic. Wait, this is deadly. No. Get on the platform. Okay. We're off to a roaring start. Okay, yeah, that's bad. I swear to God, I lose momentum and then I can't, like, jump at all. I also was using the analog stick and not the D-pad, which will not help. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta wait. Jeez. Don't startle me like that, dude. Oh. There wasn't a platform there. I thought I couldn't tell what part was background and which part wasn't, so. Nice. God, I love this song. Oh my god. Okay, we're good. But Christmas was yesterday. It was a nice time. Just, you know, being at home. With the family, as is tradition at this point. I did not see that particular fiery lava pit incoming. But, I actually got, I think, the fewest presents, this year. But part of it was just that there were, ooh, why do you hurt me when I'm jumping on top of you and you're breathing fire? That doesn't make sense to me. But, I didn't get as many presents this year. Some of them were, my mom was like, both my mom and my brother were like, being sad for me slightly, because the thing is that, like, I have an OCD thing where, like with many traditions within my family that I've had for, like, decades at this point. Nope. Cheese and crackers. Okay, we're good. There's, like, certain things that I prefer to have happen. That's lava. Of course it is. Thank you, Sonic. So I, would count presents. And, like, we take them in turns, and then, oh, I can literally just go up there, that's fine. Oh, we're here. Oh, we're here. No, you don't. Not today, friend. We're very close. We're very close. Oh, we're so close. Whoops. Oh well. But, typically my mom has in the past, like, I think some of these, like, OCD habits started because my mom wanted things to be, like, fair and even between me and my brother and stuff like that, but, like, I would count out how many presents everybody would get, and, like, we'd go around and doing them in turns. Whee! And in particular, like, whoops. Like, we all go around, like, my mom, my brother, my dad, and I. But, there's been occasions where, like, it's usually my mom and my dad that have, the least amount of presents. Yeah, we're here now. I'm gonna get this one red ring. I don't care anymore. But, this year I had the fewest because some of them were combined, some of them just didn't make it on time, and, I ended up buying 2 gifts at least for my brother and my mom. My mom's usually the one who buys the majority of our gifts. Me, my brother, my dad. And then my dad and my brother and I buy her gifts. Ooh, okay, Sonic. But it just ended up, I fell through the gap again! I have to go all the way back. We're back. We're back, folks. We're back. We're so back. It's so over. We're so back. Sonic. You know what? No, that doesn't work. Okay. I swear to God. I swear to God. How did I get over the pit that time? How did I get over it the first time? Oh my God. But yeah, I ended up buying... My mom just doesn't like us to buy more stuff because then there's more stuff inside of the house. And, like, eventually my parents are going to sell the house, so they want to have less stuff in there. But, I like to shop, and I'm very materialistic. The unfortunate fact about me is that I am a victim of capitalism. Wait for it. There she blows. Sonic! You were supposed to get on the spring, you dingus! You doofus? Sonic! Okay, that wasn't the gap. We're good. But yeah, she got a few different things from both me and my brother, as did my dad. My brother got a little bit of that because he didn't buy me something. I think he did, but like it didn't come in yet. So he was a little bit upset about that. Sonic? Whoa, camera. But like, out of the stuff I got, the majority of it was clothes because I asked the majority for clothes. But I mentioned this already outside of here, so I've got 6 pairs of suspenders. And I'm entering my Poindexter era because I just don't like wearing belts that much. Please. What just happened there? Oh. Oh my god, why did it do that? Posted this dog, Gentle Ralts. Thank you so much for posting this dog. This dog has been posted. There it is. I'm going to eventually make that like an actual, like, it goes automatic thing, but I have to figure out what program to use for that. I'm looking at Mix It Up, but like ever since I like started the channel, I was like, I want to do channel points, and I want to do channel point redeems. So that's currently the first one because I don't have any video redeems. That is not a platform apparently? Why is that not a platform? What is happening? What is happening? Sonic? 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 Oh, I see. Fascinating. Good God almighty. I can't see in front of me, game! Okay. Cheese and crackers. Okay, we're almost there. We got 3 lives to our names. We can do this. Oh, that just doesn't go anywhere. How am I supposed to know that? It's a little hard to tell what's the foreground and what's the background. Oh my god, Sonic! We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. You're joking. You're kidding me. You've got to be. What song is that? You're joking me. You're kidding me. I swear to God. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but I remember it distinctly. It's like a Disney musical or something. Yeah, I got, Ooh. Sonic. 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 Sonic! Oh, I forgot I had that. Oh my gosh. I put that on at the end of last stream. So I don't have as many accidents. Okay. Alright. It's the wind, man! It's the wind! And now I have to start from the very beginning of the stage! I could go to the next level, but I really don't want to, like, let this sit. It feels bad to let it sit. Alright. Nice. I will not keep that. Just like I can't keep these rings. Please. I'm burning. Okay. Yeah, I got, a skirt. Nice skirt. And, I got a PJ nightgown that matches PJs that I got for my birthday, which is fun. And, oh gosh, what else did I get? Actually, hang on, I can see them from over here. I got a calendar. But that's like just a general thing because my aunt always gets us calendars. She gets everybody calendars for the new year. That's her thing. That's her Christmas gift. So I got my yearly calendar. It is Mario this time around. It's been Mario before. I think a couple of years ago it was also Mario. And the previous year beforehand it was also Mario, but then like I traded it with my brother because he got the Sonic calendar. But I'm more into Sonic than he is. So and it was like Mario 1. It was a Mario 1 calendar. So we traded calendars, and I have the Sonic one in my room still. And the October month, it was the Werehog, Sonic the Werehog, which is fun. I enjoyed that. Alright, boys. Let's get this bread, gamers! I swear to God. Stay there. Yeah, that works. Shut up. Alright. But, there was another thing that I got, but like, I don't feel a need to say that. I don't remember what else I got, honestly. Because like, I really didn't get a whole lot. But, there's also, like, one of the presents my mom said she lost in the house somewhere. I don't know where it is. Whoa, my God! Where am I? Hello? Yeah, okay, sure. Where did I go? What happened to me? Where did I go? Come on. God dang it. Okay. Nope. Oh my God. Sonic, buddy. Buddy! Get a grip, man. Get a grip. There we go. Yeah, sure, that works. Oh. Yeah, I got my dad a book about, like, it's a fiction novel about the Panama War, because he's one of those guys that enjoys, like, war fiction. That doesn't make me invincible. It just makes me fast. Go. Go! Oh, is that how you're supposed to get up there? By going really, really fast? That's probably how you're supposed to get up there. Yeah, I don't know what happened at that particular point. It just dropped me off. Like, we're done now. There you go. And, oop! And then I got my... Yeah, I got him that, and I got him a Soundgarden CD because he enjoys the 90s alternative type of music. And then for my mom, I got her a Scooby... Ah! We're going down here. It's not safe up there. I got her a Scooby-Doo DVD with the... Apparently it said the first 5 episodes... Good. The first 5 episodes of Scooby-Doo. So that's fun. Not that we necessarily use DVDs that much anymore, but that's okay. What else did I get? I got her something else. What did I get her? Oh, I got her a necklace that says Mama on it. Because she's I don't call her Mama, but she sometimes refers to herself as Mama. But I thought it was cute because she sometimes wears jewelry. It's one of those types of ladies. And then for my brother, I got him a pack of Pokemon cards. Cause like, a lot of people are into Pokemon cards lately. He doesn't play the TCG game, but like, he's been interested in Pokemon cards beforehand. This is not like an unprecedented thing. But like, I don't know if he'll actually like the pack that I've gotten him, because it's like, you know, mostly Gen 6 type of stuff, because that's what's currently, the current game, you know? And then what else did I get him? I got him something else, I don't remember what. I need to go up there, I need to go up there, I need to go up there, I need to go up there! I just remembered I need to go up there. Boy, if you don't stop throwing your goddamn spiky balls at me. Okay, thank you. Alright, we're back. Sonic, please get up on the car. Please get up on the car. Sonic! I need you to be on the car there, buddy. You need to get up on the car, buddy. Please, for me. Can you do that for me? What did I get my brother? I don't remember what I got him, and that feels really bad. What I do know is that my mom got him, like, $60 worth of Steam cards. Because she was like, I don't really know how this all works. No, no! Sonic! 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 I'm gonna take a sip of my water for 1 second. Oh, what I did get is, passed by, we went to a plaza that has Trader Joe's in it. And they have 1.5 liter bottles of water for 75 cents. Like, that's insane. So that's what I've been using for, my water. Now, that's what I got. I change my water bottle every, like, month or so. I know it's, like, bad for the environment to, you know, have plastic bottles. I realize that. I just keep forgetting to, you know, wash, the reusable water bottles that I have. Plus, I've been having a growing fascination of having liter bottles. Because that's a little bit, like, that's a little bit more water in general. And I am constantly dehydrated. So this helps a bit. The cycle! It goes up, and then I can't get on it, and I fall down the side of the building. You have to take this slowly, because otherwise I die. Okay. Okay, we're on the car. We're on the car. Okay. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Okay, we're on the car. Is that a platform? Why did it push me off the car? Why did I click through it? We're at 8 minutes. We are at more than 8 minutes on this particular stage. Wait, hang on, that is actually not a viable platform, is it? How do I get up there then? Howdy! Oh my god! Oh, I'm doing. I sure am doing. Alright, let's take this away for now. Because the there's a 5-minute cooldown on it, so let's take it away for now. And if you're anybody like me, you can redeem that multiple times throughout the oh, it didn't give me the extra because I had used it the previous run. Cool. Never mind then. Oh. But I'm slowly working through getting channel redeems. I gotta figure out what software to use for that. But woo! Whoopsie daisies. That was a mistake. There we go. Okay. Oh, come on now, man. Alright. Yes, this is very good. Thank you. Thank you, Sonic. Thank you. Don't. Sonic! I just told you not to, man. What did I just say? Great. Hey. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Top deck. Excuse me? Sorry? Why did I go downwards? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, just don't collect any of the rings, that's fine. I might have to skip this and come back to it again. I might have to skip it and come back to it again. Which really sucks because there's a stage later on that's even worse than this. The final stage is the absolute, just like the worst one. Because I remember in middle school playing this game and it was just god-awful. Oh my god, Sonic! Trying to think of what I was talking about before I got upset about the songs. Christmas Crimbo. This is in fact the PS3 version. I am playing on PS3 and I have a slight delay, which is might be why my reaction times aren't that great. So this is not the PC version. We have the PS3 version because at the time I didn't have a PC to play this game. My brother's the one that got it, and he had a not a shiny new PS3, but he had a PS3, so he wanted to use it for. He wanted to buy a game for it, and this is one of the games for it. You have a few different PS3 games, honestly. Go! Yeah, this is way back, original 2011 video game. This is not anything modded or anything, this is just straight up. Okay. Just stand on the edge, Sonic. Do not get blown to bits, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that greatly. Oh my god. Oh, that's fascinating how that works. No! I'm not getting the extra rings, not for that. Excuse you. Excuse me. This guy. This guy. Get out of here. Yeah, not a whole lot happened yesterday. We had, well, I say not a whole lot happened. And actually, whoa, my god! I was on top for a second there, that's fun. Ooh! Why? But why, though? But why would it propel me to the wall and into the pit? But why is that a thing? Why can't you just propel me over to where I need to be? Why can't you just go straight to the, what's it called, the bounce pad? Why did it have to be like that? It didn't have to be like that, but you did it anyways. That was extremely close. Imagine, I get 100 rings, and I get the funny thing. The funny light. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Merry Christmas. Oh! Yes! I'm not going to bother with you. I don't care anymore. Listen, the only good thing that's happening right now is the music. Oh, it throws a ball right in my face, that's why. Right, forgot about that. There it is. Alright, and then go normal. Go normal. Okay, cool, thank you. But yesterday, my dad made both a big breakfast, which ended up being a brunch because he made it at 11. And oh my god, how did I not know this is here? How have I not seen that before? Oh my god! Yeah, I definitely need it. That much is for sure. I have no idea how have I never seen that before? It just never sent me that way for some reason. Oh well. Anywho, but he made a big old breakfast with, right, can't jump on them. With, it was pancakes and, omelets, and there was some kind of Danish ring, and that was weird. It was an oval-shaped ring as well, which my mom thought was strange. I personally just thought that the fact that it was a Danish wheel. Well, okay, Sonic, where are you going? Danish wheel at all was kind of strange, but that's just how it is. And then he made Christmas dinner, had a ham. I only had like one slice of the ham, and then I ate a bunch of turkey that we had from Christmas Eve. Because he bought like sandwich makings for us after work on that day. My hand is hurting already. That's strange. Why is that happening? I've done nothing to warrant this. It's not even my right hand. It's my left hand for some reason. Usually my right hand's the one that's acting up because that's my dominant hand, but for some reason my left hand is not liking doing this. So that's fun. Oh, the joys of being 27 and not being particularly healthy. Sonic, I need you to get up on the ledge, buddy. Dude, you need to go on the ledge. Please. Yeah, there was ham, there was turkey stuffing apparently, there was cranberry sauce, gotta have the cranberry sauce, very important. We're fine. Cranberry sauce, what else was there? There was, oh my god, what else was there? There was rolls, biscuits, whatever you want to call them. I think they're more so biscuits than rolls. Is there anything else? For some reason he bought strawberry ice cream, which, sure, like, it's not... The concern wasn't necessarily that it was strawberry ice cream, it was just that it felt weird having strawberry ice cream after, I was gonna say Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner. Just felt a little bit strange as well. Oh, can I actually? Oh my god, I can. This isn't the right one though. Okay, so that is solid. I wasn't sure if that particular bit was solid because I need to get onto that bit here, which is a pain in my butt. Car, please. Oh my god, car, please. Please don't fall down, car. Oh, I'm losing it. Okay. Okay, we stand here. We stand here and we do a little jiggy thing. We get jiggy with it. Oh! Sonic. Oh, no, Sonic. Oh my god, Sonic. Please. We've done it. It took us 2 streams, but we've done it. I think my mic just cut out. I accidentally touched the cord for it. My hands hurt from clapping. That's so cool of my body to just be like this. We never have to do that ever again. Never, ever again. Alright, let's move on to, my least favorite game. Sonic Unleashed. That, once again, I have not finished to this day. Oh, right, her. Almost forgot. She's 20 years old. Oh, what's happening? Oh, the game didn't like that.
I wish I hadn't needed your help, Sonic, but thank you. By the way, you seem to look less... spiky.
So, I think... Oh gosh, who voices her in this game? Like, my mind wants to say Lani Minella, but that's not even remotely close. Lani Minella voiced Rouge the Bat in the Dreamcast era of games. So Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 2. But who voices her? Is this Laura Bailey? This might be Laura Bailey. One of them's Laura Bailey and one of them's one of the other, like another prominent voice actor from this era. Because I remember them because one of them's Cream is voiced by one of them and Blaze is voiced by the other. But I also remember them because they're both in Catherine, which was also a PS3 game that my brother played. Sonic, I hope we can keep this slip of mine just between the two of us, alright? Sand Undertale going to... What? I don't know what that means. I'm very sorry, I don't know what that means. Alright. Oh, Sonic 06 fan dub reference. I don't remember that line. When did Penny say that? When did Penny say that? I don't even remember that line. I mean, I remember mostly the most mimetic ones. I remember. Why is my stream at yellow? Why is it? No! Why are you doing that? Give me a second. Let it air out. It's sunk. Oh, okay, it's back. But yeah, I remember like one of my favorite lines from it. You're valid in wanting to buy Sonic 06. It is a god-awful game, but in the sense that like not Sonic. That like you would buy like the room for DVD. That's a mistake, don't do it. But I do remember one of the lines I like really liked from the Sonic 06 dub was something. Oh gosh, what did they say? It was just like something. Oh, it was the way they said it, like the Denny's Grand Slam, and that was all I could think about on my birthday when I went out to eat dinner with my my parents, and like I decided that I wanted to get Denny's because we used to have Denny's at in our town, but it no longer is there. But it's there at the town of the college that I'm going to. Oh right, this is like extremely drift era, so that's gonna be prominent in this level. Yeah, there's a lot of funny Sonic dub lines that are great. Come on. I can't believe we ate the whole thing! Oh god, oh right, I have to sidestep. Oops. What even are these? They are not in the level at all. I can't look at that video right now, I'm playing the video game. Okay. Oh, there we go. Do 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 do. Go. Do 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 do. Whoop. Do do do. Like this is a very good song. Like both the remix and the original. I do enjoy. Not Apatos. Oh gosh, what is his name? Spagonia Rooftop Run. Spagonia Day Rooftop Run. Yeah, Sonic, that's cool. Just dive directly into the saw blade, dude. Yes! That's exactly what I wanted! Yes! And I like this version of it where they're like all celebrating and stuff. It's neat. It's very cute. This is a very bad cycle, I'm gonna say right now. Doo-doo-doo. So like there's other songs from Sonic 06 that I prefer over this one. Oh, okay. I pressed the homing attack button and it just dropped me off of the balloons, as one does. Okay, there we go. Hoi! Okay, I did not know I was there! Ba-da-da. Oh, I'm not that far off. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Get in there. Where's the funny tower? Where's the funny tower? Oh, we're here. We're at the tower. Oh! Here we are. Yes, the Twirler Tower! Yeah, that was another memory I have of seeing this game. Yeah, thanks, man. He just fell face down. Good lord. Okay, there we go. I don't even know why that's there. It's weird. Oh. Well, that seems dangerous. As is any Sonic platforming section. Extremely dangerous. I'm not getting that. I refuse at this point. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's, yep, Okay. Oh! I didn't see the spikes at first. Ooh. Okay, we got it. I can't see, game! Well, it's a good thing I latched onto that rail. Where am I? Oh, hey, another one. Yeah, that's fine. We can take that. Is this the correct direction? I guess it's the correct direction. That's what makes sense. Listen, I just need to get out of here, man. Ooh! They're back. The boys are back in town to kill you. Oh! I didn't know there was gonna be a guy there! Jesus! Oh, I'm gonna die. I must stand there considering there's a character mod. Yeah, I know about that one. I remember that one from, it was like a few years ago. That was like Penny's birthday stream that she had with Mar. Where she just happened to be, no wait, no, that wasn't that one. It was another stream. I think that was also a Snapchat stream. I could be wrong though. She was Blaze the Cat for that one. I would like to have rings. That would be nice to have rings. That would be so cool to have rings in that section. I still got 2 lives, but like... Can I please have some rings? Can I please just keep my rings? Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted! Okay, yeah, that's what I have to do. I have to kick him back. Oh, excuse me! I somehow avoided that. I'm gonna go over here now, because I have 0 rings whatsoever. Oh, that was the end of the stage. Cool. What is this? Wop, 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 wop. What is this? A quick breather. Oh, that's just the one for the stage is all. What is... oh. Oh, that was an Alfred quote, gotcha. I need some more Wawa. My throat is hurting. What am I thinking of that plate of Sans? I don't know. I do not know. Oh well. Alright, get back in there, dude. Alright. Don't stand under the spike traps. I wasn't standing under the spike traps, I was standing directly to the left of it, and yet it still killed me. And yet it still took all of my rings, all in one go. Because God just hates me. God loves me specifically. And it's chosen that I suffer like this. Oh, I love this remix. Oh my god. There are too many enemies in this little tiny area. God dang it. How am I gonna get back up? They're sending missiles directly to my house. Oh, it came back. Cool. They're launching missiles directly onto my forehead. Ah! Hi, buddy. No! Oh, okay. Really? At least it covers it up, but I know... I no longer had the rings to protect me, which was what I was saying. I am shaking my legs like nobody's business right now. Both with anxiety and anger. Oh, okay. Shoot it. Go on. Take the shot. Oh. It didn't even like get to me. It just kind of petered off. What happened there? Okay. Thank you, Sonic, for jumping way too far to the right. I love that about you. You're beautiful, you're gorgeous, thank you so much. You didn't notice me! Come on now, man. Down? Down? Question mark? Down? I can't- oh. There it is. Oh. Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright, there we go. Oh, hello, friend. Oh, cheese and crackers. No. Jump directly into him. Is that all that was? Just jump directly into him? You having fun there, buddy? You having fun? I for some reason cannot go to the left, and I do not know what the problem is. Okay, so do like this, and then that's not it either. So what do I need to do to make this happen? Okay. Then like this? Okay, like that. Wow, the checkpoint was right there, huh? Sonic. Well, I tried. You can't say I didn't try. It's like it does it directly into the guy. Like I can't. I have no more rings, so I'm just dead now. Okay. Oh, there's rings over here. Sick. All right. Doo-doo, doo-doo. This is gonna take me a good long while to get through. let me just preface that right now. This is gonna take me a while to get through. Yay! Directly into the spikes. What are those called? They're not saw blades. What are they called? Oh, Sonic. Sonic, I had faith in you, buddy. I trusted you. Hey, remember the part of Rooftop Run where we were just in a winery and there were just so many barrels? Remember that part? No? Cool, neither do I. Anywho. Cool, thanks. Where was the last checkpoint? It was right here. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Like, that's actually legitimately fine. Ow! Dude? Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. This is a predicament. I don't have a life, so that checkpoint, it is meaningless! I thought I was going to fall my death! I just cannot jump far enough. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, hey. Yee. Yeah! It's directly into the barrel! Doo-doo, doo-doo. I can't see the barrel when I go in there, is the problem. Do I risk it? Roll it down. Thank you. Okay. Excuse me. Oh! Tee-hee. Why would you give me this ability? I mean, I guess it makes me jump farther, but why would you give me this ability? You're kidding me. Hey! Do-do-do. Okay, buddy! Yeah, they're 0.5 centimeters away from my face and they didn't hit me, but then they hit me like when the thing was already 5 years away from me. There is, in fact, something down there. I see it. Oh, I could get it. Hooray! We've done it! Now where am I going? I'm going that way, I guess. But I could go this way as well. I'm going this way. Screw the man, I'm going this way. Now we're on the clock tower section. I, like, do not remember a clock tower at all in this particular level in the original. My favorite part of guillotines, thank you, are the free suspended guillotines. I love going to Italy and trying their pasta and there's invincibility up there. I'm grabbing that. Do 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 do. I just have to worry about falling to my death now. I don't care for that red ring. I do not care. I love going to the winery in Italy and then please don't, please don't, please don't. Okay, thank you. I love going to the winery in Italy and then there's like just guillotines everywhere. It's my favorite thing. What is this direction? Because clearly there's something here. Oh! Okay, we're here. Hang on. Yes! That's what I wanted. Alright, you're dying. There's way too many bombs on this, Big Ben here. Ba-da. Wow. Those sure are projectiles. Would be a shame if I ended up getting hit by them. There they go. Thank you so much for your service. Yeah, cool. Please. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Oh, we've done it. Eggman's dead. Rain! Thank you. Whee! I didn't see that guy, because he kind of blended in with the background there. The Big Bambino. That's its name. That's what it's called. Because as we all know, Benjamin in Italian means, baby. How do I get up there? Like this? I guess like that. Like this, like that. Okay, we're back. We're back in action. That wasn't where I wanted to go. Too late. I think I need to actually, like, go. Yeah, I don't know where I ended up there. Gonna be honest. Not sure where that was going. But, it went somewhere. I swear to God. I just need a ring, dude! I've lost all of my rings. It's 5 o'clock. Somewhere. Do you like pina coladas? Sorry, I had to drink some water. My throat's getting tired again. Do 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 do. I'm just really bad at classic Sonic movement. Don't know what it is. It's just the modern Sonic games are just easier for me. I don't know. Yeah, I can't just top off it. I was trying to jump on it, but it wouldn't let me. Nope. Wait for the missile to land. Oh, you actually got me this time. Okay. Can you, like, stop that for 5 seconds? For, like, 5 whole seconds? That would be nice. Thank you. Down. Down, boy, down. Do 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 do. I don't have any rings. I don't have any rings. I don't have any rings. Do 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 do. Skip it up. Huh. I think I actually prefer the theme like to Cool Edge, Holoska de Cool Edge. Partially because like it's like the same. It's both the same key signature and like the same chord progression. Those are words if you don't know music. As like Sonic Unleash's theme, like the vocal theme, because the vocal theme and the orchestral theme are different for some strange reason. I do not know why. They didn't really do that with literally any other game aside from Sonic Unleashed. I don't know why that happened. Come on, man. You gotta hit the balloons. I went too far to the left. That was my big mistake, was going too far to the left. Okay, let's get ready to move out of Bingors. Can I do it? Nope. Ah! I saw it coming. I did see it coming. Hooray, I hit him for once. The character design and like the enemy design in Sonic Unleashed is probably my favorite. Just cause it's like more cartoony. Every other time they've done like humans in Sonic, they've been like more realistic. But like this one's all cartoony and stuff. It's fun, I enjoy that. There we go. I actually like stopped on a dime there. Thank you, Sonic CD Mechanics. Alright, here we go. Nope. Stay there. Let the big guys handle it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. What do you mean, barrel? Where did that come from? Excuse me? Where did you come from? Oh. Huh. Okay. I mean, I won't complain. I will complain now! Hooray! Yippee! Yippee! That could be another channel point redeem. One channel point redeem that I know for certain that I have is called Ants. And don't worry about what that entails, because it's very fine and normal. It's a very fine and normal, get in there? Okay. It's a very fine and normal, redeem for sure. But I have to actually edit the video I want to use for that. I swear to God. I have to jump like... not quite... Nope, okay, I have to go through this way then. Is the song tiring yet? Do I just like... spin dash it? I don't just spin dash it, right? Yeah! Directly into the barrel! Where am I? Oh! I'm on top. Okay. Wasn't expecting that, I'm going to be honest. Okay. Well, that clearly wasn't meant to happen. Because I couldn't get anywhere. Oh my god. Well, I don't really think... I don't remember if I have any other redeems planned aside from post this dog and ants. I don't even remember what my commands are currently. Like, I have a few that I'll probably just put on, redeems for that. Oh! Thank you! Actually, that was incredibly helpful. Like, hey, we know you messed up. Here's a little something something to get you back on the ropes. No, on the ropes is bad. Get you back off the ropes, maybe? Let's get another one, just in case. 6 lives! Oh my goodness gracious me. Insane behavior. Yeah! Wow, 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 yeah! Which one is that? That's, Never Looking Back. Never Look Back. That's what that one is, the true ending this true ending Shadow the Hedgehog song, I think. I think that's what that is. Cause it's how did I not die? The piano start. Cause like someone used the piano start as like back in the day, like 15-ish, more than 15-ish years. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Sonic. That's exactly what I wanted. Ooh! We're fine. We are no longer fine. Is like someone had it's like Shadow 753 something like that. Just like Shadow something numbers. That was my bad. He like used the beginning of that as the opening for his videos. But I'd never played Shadow the Hedgehog. Still haven't to this day. So I didn't know the context for it until later on that the opening for that song is so entirely different from the rest of the song. Excuse you, sir. Excuse you? I'm minding my own business here, and there's 2 of them. Why are there 2 of them? I'm okay. We're fine. We survive? Okay, well we're going this way then. Okay, so I can in fact do that. That's good. Yeah, okay, sure. Get in the hole. Whee! It's noon. It's noon PM. Somewhere. Where is it noon actually? Probably like, not Hawaii. No, it could be Hawaii. I think, is Hawaii? Yeah, Hawaii is 5 hours before EST. And Alaska is 4 hours before EST. I think. Do we do it? Do we make it? Do we win the game? Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah, the American time zones, there's Hawaii, Alaska, then it goes, then it goes Pacific, then it's Mountain, and somewhere in there, Arizona likes to, bungle it and just not do daylight savings time because Arizona's just weird like that. They're weird and freaky like that. Don't know why they're like that at all, but it's weird. and then it is Central Time, and then it is Eastern. And Mountain Time's the one that has the least amount of people within it, in both like the United States and in Canada. Don't know if that's the case in Mexico. Hey, I'm walking here.
Thanks, Sonic. You know, I got a hunch someone or something is controlling that monster.
So, fun fact about this guy, who currently voices Vector the Crocodile now. Well, actually, 2 fun facts. Fun fact that I learned, like, more recently is that, he is half black, like myself. I didn't know that, and that's kind of a cool fun fact. But this is also the only voice that I enjoy him doing, Mr. Keith Silverstein, because it does not sound like him at all. Every other voice, I don't like his gravelly voice. Everybody else finds it sexy. I hate it. It grates on my nerves so much. But Vector's fine, because Vector has a goofy voice. Someone has to be behind all this. We gotta take him out, Sonic. Vector the Crocodile is a stand-up guy. He seems like he would be a con artist, but it's just like he just wants to be like rich. I mean, I guess the Chaotix aren't like very like, they're more like pardon the pun, they're more like chaotic neutral than anything else. Now this stage does follow the Sonic Colors trend of level design, where 1/5 of the stage is in 3D, and then the other 80% is in 2D. Listen, the Wii could not handle this level of 3D gameplay. All right, welcome to the worst. Ow! I hit my thumb on the controller. The worst level in the game. Everybody hates this level. It's very long. It takes so long to do. The worst I've had was like 14 minutes, and I think that was the classic Sonic version. And like the modern one, it took me like 11 minutes at least. It's really long. Doo 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 doo. Doo doo. Doo 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 doo. Ah. Doo doo. Why did they like mess up the Sonic Colors soundtrack so like they made it so weird sounding in the remake? Ah! Death number 1. And that was by my own fault. That had nothing to do with level design whatsoever. Boo doo doo doo. Doo doo. But I haven't actually like played Sonic Colors Ultimate. I do own it for the Switch, and I'd have to update it to make sure that it doesn't, you know, completely fork. Oh, he's fine. I was like, what? I got real confused there. I thought he died to his death. You know, when you die to your death. I don't think I've been in this part of the level before. Oh, that's fun. The underside, the underbelly of the level. Never been down here. Doo doo doo. Doo doo doo. Wow. Doo doo. Oh! Yeah, that works, sure. What? I couldn't even see that up there, dude. It was trying to give me like a ring. What is it? A light speed, light ring, light speed dash or something like that. What's it called? But I didn't. Like I couldn't even see it. It was just pointing up into the tree somewhere. We got this. Sonic. Sonic, look, buddy, we gotta get through the stage. This is only the first part of it. We're barely like a sixth of the way through. Sonic! We gotta get through this, buddy. I don't know what's happening. I swear to God, I don't know what's happening. What is happening? I'm so confused. Oh my god. Okay. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I maybe I should play Sonic Colors Ultimate someday, but like I got it for Christmas one year when it first came out, and I have never played it since then. Oh, excuse me. I do, generally speaking, prefer Sweet Mountain Speed to Planet Wisp, but I do enjoy the the map being for Planet Wisp a bit more. That one does sound better in my ears comparatively. Yeah, Sonic's going places for sure. Where's he going? Only God knows. God only knows where Sonic is running. Yeah, sure! Yeah, get that guy, sure! Like, this is a fine enough rendition of it. It just lacks more to the piano. And that kind of sucks. Oh my god, I nearly fell. I am not, like... Buddy. Buddy. You have to do the bare minimum here, folks. Sonic, you have to do... How is this happening? Do I need to press the other button? I do have to press the other button. Okay. I meant to press the boost button. I pressed the jump button instead. Like a fool. Okay. Yeah, that works. So if I do this, okay, he'll be normal, and then we do that, and he'll be normal, and then he'll be normal. I'm not trusting any of this, dude. Yes! Doo-doo-doo. Where am I? Checkpoint! We made it! Alright, welcome to the 2D section, which is the majority of the rest of the level. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, let's go with that. Sonic! Come on, man. We're so close. We are so close to the end of the game. Please, Sonic. Can I actually finish the game tonight? I probably can if I, you know, decide to... Oh! Pickaxe! I was gonna say pickaxe from Splatoon. That's not even close. It's pickaxe from Minecraft. That was what I was going to say, but somehow Splatoon was the word that wanted to come out of my mouth. It's really bad having like the little dash, like jump dash thing be the same thing as like the homing attack at times, because that keeps happening. You wanna come out, bud? Okay, we're good now. Oh, we're back in 3D. I don't remember this section. Oh. Okay. We are fine, we are rolling, we are good, we are having good times. Eventually with a man named Scar. Alright. Oh, it's time. Here we go. What? Alright, welcome to the rest of the level. It's rocket time, baby. Rocket! Cube! Ah! Hover! Frenzy! Spike! Ah! Asteroid! What else is that? Burst! Burst! I can't get it right. Burst! Laser! Is it like drill? Something like that. And then there's the ones from Lost World, which I don't remember. Yeah, this is good. Which I don't remember off the top of my head. Like how they specifically sound. There's bomb for some reason. I don't know why there's a bomb, but there is. Oh. Sick. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Good section. Good section of the level. Love this. Ouchies. Wow, can you imagine getting hit by spikes? Can't be me. Can't possibly be me. Sonic. I still have Rocket, like, locked and loaded. That's not quite what I meant to do, but that's okay. I guess I'm going this way then. Oh. Excuse me. Excuse me, fellas. Coming through. Da-da! Where am I supposed to take this rocket? Over here. Burp, burp, burp. Aw, dang it. Oh well. That's fine. Oh, there's the thing. The chain that connects all the guys together. Because that's like a thing in Sonic Colors. They're all being held in place by Eggman to Tropical Resort. Eggman's Interstellar Amusement Park. Yeah, thanks, man. The sequel to Eggman Land. Eggman's Interstellar Amusement Park. That's gonna get me. It did not get me. It's really close to getting me. But it is not yet. I'll just go here, I don't care. There's a lot more 3D in here than I was expecting. Ah, dang it. Oh well. Okay. The boys are here. Do they have sunglasses? I think they have sunglasses. Wild. Okay. We're back. This is actually not going as badly as it could. Oh god, this section. I remember this section. Uh-oh. I have had trouble with this section for a good long time. I do remember getting... well, not really upset. I was getting, not frustrated. Frustrated more so with chat than with, the streamer himself about this particular section, because how are you supposed to know that this is how... oh my god. How you're supposed to do it. I forgot I did that. Like, how are you... like, you're not necessarily going to know that you have to, like, hold the button down. It doesn't necessarily say to hold it, it just gives you the little prompt to press the button. Cool, dude. Thank you for showing off your super skills. And it's rocket time. There he goes. Where's the rocket area? Am I going crazy? Oh, the rocket area's here. Okay. Gotta hold it in midair. Okay. And it doesn't come back. Cool. What a wonderful level we got going on here. I don't get that. I don't get that one, I'm sorry. Oh. No. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I think the way I'm doing it is reminding me of Persona 5. The way I'm saying it particularly. That's what it's reminding me of. Where am I? Yes! Oh, I can't get up there. Climb aboard. Game design is my passion. I crash land into it. How am I supposed to like get through it if I don't just like crash land into it? How did I get hit? Alright, be careful. Got it. Alright, where are we rocketing, boys? Here? Here. Can I please get a waffle? Can I please get some rings? That would be so nice. That would be so lovely and nice. Yeah, that works. No! Okay, we're fine. Sonic. I got some rings out of that, it's fine. Oh lord, he's coming. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to keep going. You're not being particularly, like... You're not really guiding me in the right direction here, game, I feel like. Alright, here we go. Oh! Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hang on. Hang on. Nope. Okay, well. Apologies, I'm feeling so exhausted by this game now. So you are making good time. Well, that's something. Yes! I don't, how am I supposed to get that? How am I supposed to get it? A singular ring and a dream. One man redefines what it means to be Sonic the Hedgehog. Morris Ogilvy. God, what kind of name is... It's Maurice, not Morris. What kind of name is Ogilvy? Like, that's far more old-timey than any sort of name that I've heard before, ever. I'm just gonna sit, and whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna sit here. I didn't hold forward enough. That's why that happened. I'm gonna die now. That's just gonna happen now. It does not matter anymore. It doesn't matter what happened. The fight. I don't know the lyrics. Who is Ronin? Who is... Oh my god. Do not fall down. Cool, we got the checkpoint. Oh lord. Alright, we're in this section now. Okay. Get ready. This rocket isn't as cool as the one in in Sonic Colors Original. Because in Sonic Colors Original, you like did a little skydive after you did the rocket. Okay. Alright, Where is he? There he is. Oh! Close enough! Alright, we've made it. That could have gone so much worse. I'm going to be real with you right now, that could have gone so much worse. I only got one game over there. And that was because of the beginning section, not because of the second section there. Oh, Lord. My eyeball's itching for some reason, that's great. Anywho. Last full level. Let's do this thing. I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for it whatsoever. But we'll probably make the stream go on for like 2.5 hours rather than like 2 hours just to finish it. Because I hate whenever I do like streams and I'm so close to the end. So I just have to push it. Let me stretch out for a bit. Oh boy howdy. My tailbone is hurting. Why is it red right now? Why am I on red frame? I hate when it does this. Please be normal. Just be normal for 5 minutes. For the love of God, just be normal. My stream refuses to be normal. Is it the white space? Is that what's making it worse? I'm so confused. Spike! Frenzy! That's the wrong one. Is it? Is that the wrong one? Yeah, no, that is the right one. Frenzy is Oh, I forgot I hated this song. Oh, I forgot I hated the song. I forgot again. It's like in the wrong key and it doesn't sound right. It sounds bad. This is like Sonic 4 kind of music. It sounds weird and off-putting. I don't like it. We could probably change the music if I so desired. So I'm not gonna do that. Whoa! Hello! Where did the spike come from? Hello? Oh. Game's doing things. Oh, we're here. Wrong way. Spike is funny. Oops! Oh well. Try that again, please. Spike! I will say I do have some nostalgia, like, just for the Wisp forms in general. Just by virtue of the fact that I played this game in middle school. It was like the first game I had while in my big old Sonic phase in middle school. So I just have a fondness for it. Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Spike! Whee! Yeah, those aren't in the original game. Oh, okay. Sonic. Sonic! I pressed the jump button there, bud! I pressed it! I swear to God I did! Oh. Well, that's not where I wanted to go, but that's where we are now. Can I push this? I cannot push that. Nope. That's illegal. You cannot do that here in this factory. Oh my God. I got so worried for a second there. Yeah, one of them is Rhythm? I'm trying to think of the ones that are in Lost World. One of them is Rhythm, one of them is Eagle, one of them is... What's Ivory? What was Ivory? Lightning. Ivory Lightning, because that one's also in, Whoops, wrong way. Hello. This way? No. Okay. Things are in fact happening. I keep going in the wrong direction. I have to point it to the left rather than to the right. Nope. Which direction do I need to be facing, game? Oh! This is fine. Yeah, it was, Ivory Lightning, they all have names. I should probably go through all the different colors names because Sonic Colors is about colors. There's... I didn't press the triangle button. Whoops. This one is Pink Spikes. The last one was Orange Rocket. This is good. Oh, this way. Okay, there we go. Yay, checkpoint. Oh my goodness gracious me. Yeah, Pink Spikes, Orange Rocket, these are the two that you unlocked in this area of the game, actually. Which is, I'm assuming why they're here. Wrong way. And then, what else is it? Yeah, that's good. Lose every single ring that you have, Sonic. Oh, that's fun. Too bad I won't get that, though. Ooh, baby! Ooh, baby, a triple. Oh, yeah. Orange Rocket, Pink Spikes, Green Hover, Cyan, Laser, Blue Cube, Defender of the Polyverse! There they are. There they go. Yay! That's fine. Purple, Frenzy. What else am I missing? White, there's the white ones or the neutral ones or the regular ones. That's what, they're classified as white despite the fact that they're very much so not white. Yeah, okay. Do I need the spike to get past this? It doesn't seem like I do. I can just go without the spike. Cool. Well, anyways. That sure was an exciting segment. Brought to you by the letter S for Sonic. And spikes. Good. And then... what else is it? Yeah, there's spikes. And then after that there's the DS ones, which are... Woo! Spikes! What? Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. Okay. So it's this way. Gotcha. Thank goodness I've gotten rings now. Okay. Ah! Bro. Just stand on the platform. Just stand on the platform. I don't want to risk it. Okay. This way? This way. And then... I'm okay. And then it's, the DS ones are Red Burst and Violet Asteroid. And then there's the Mother Wisp, which is actually in Team Sonic Racing. This way, this way. This way? This way. This way? Sick. I don't have rings. Okay. That would have been dangerous now, wouldn't it? Why did I go this way? Why did I go that way? Who told me to go that way? Nobody. Nobody told me to go that way. Oh, it's still coming back. I have to wait now. It's not... Okay. Well, we're going this way then. Like, you can't even tell if you've gotten hit while you're in Wisp form. Because God forbid we make things like... we telegraph what hurts you and what doesn't. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna lose my rings. I'm okay. Give that a second to launch again. Okay. Give that another second to launch again. Oh, it didn't kill me. What? Okay. I'm okay. Oh. Oh, this is where I end up back at. Gotcha. And then the last one, there's two others. There's one in the Wii U version of Sonic Lost World called Bomb. So that's one of them. And then the other one is introduced in Team Sonic Racing is... Yeah, that's good. Can I please get my ring back? Can I please get my ring back? Thank you. Bring it out here. Come on. For the love of God, go. Okay. Where am I going? Okay. That's fine. Are we... Is this the end? I think it is in fact the end. Hey, we did it. Once again, that could have gone far worse. I didn't actually get a game over that time, but that's neat. That's cool. Agua. Yeah, there's way too many wisps. They had wisps in Sonic Colors, and then they're like, we like these. Let's keep them. And then they put them in Lost World, and everybody was really confused because we had wisps, and then we also had a run button, which was very odd. That game in general is just real weird. There's a lot of things that feel like it went wrong in a different way to Sonic 06. Like, they put a lot of heart and soul into it, but it's also just weird.
Dude, there's the emerald!
Dude, there's my car! That is Sonic 4 music, I believe.
Pretty slick move, huh?
I considered putting Sonic Lost World music as the starting tune music, but I couldn't find one that was in between 3 to 4 minutes. That's the determination of what is put as music.
That was very scary, but being with you makes it all better. Yeah! Hey, you look different.
I want to say that Charmy is not voiced by Kate Higgins, but he could be. He's voiced by one of the Tails voices, I don't remember which. Where'd the party go? Up your butt. That's where. I'm not going to Google it, because I don't feel like doing that. Anyways, the challenge gates have appeared, let's go! Sonic 4, everybody's favorite. We do have... Fun fact, I can't actually show you because Planet Wisp was stored, because my controller is a PS4 controller, and it just simply will not let me hit the PlayStation button and get back to the menu, but we do actually have Sonic 4 Episode 2 on the PS3. It's on my brother's account. This is just an account that I made though at some point, I think, just to have my separate account, like a separate thing for the PS3, but like I don't have PSN or anything, so I can't connect to anything, but we have Sonic 4 Episode 2. I never actually, I think I played maybe one stage from it, but that's about it. Alright, where are we going? Where are we going? What is this one? That's a doppelganger one. No, thank you. That's also a doppelganger one. Okay. Maybe if I go over here, it'll take me places? It will, in fact, take me places. Wonderful. I don't think this is the correct area, though, is it? No. No, this is the correct area. I am, in fact, also looking for one other thing, but I don't see it here. It's this one. Just make it to the goal? Don't let the goalpost hit the ground as you get to the goal in time. Yeah, that's not happening, sorry. Maybe this one over here? This one's a Blaze one, this one seems to be rings, that one's Charmy. What's the rings one? Reach the goal of only one ring. I can probably do it. This one's Rooftop Run, but it's playing the Planet Wisp music for some reason. That's cool. This is a functioning video game. Made in 1995. Sure wasn't. Oh my god. My spine is doing things because I've been sitting for, 2 hours without moving much. There's my singular ring. Now we just have to get through the level. They're here. The guys are here. Hey, what's that about? Oh, that's nothing. Okay. Oh, I have somehow missed the danger by doing that. That's fun. Oh, there's a guy. Oops. Let me grab that back. Thank you kindly. So far, so good. Give it a second. Okay. Oop, there goes my ring. Give me 1 second, I need to get that back. Thank you. Boy! Did I lose my ring? I think I lost my ring. Alright. This is now a no-hit run. Sick! That's fine. Let's do a different one then. I don't want to waste too much time with these. Okay. I'm stretching, sorry. Yeah, one of the few good things to come out of Sonic 4 is the funny duck song. The which is not in this game because Sonic 4 apparently came out in 2013, I think? Something like that. Try to catch Blaze before time runs out, but watch out for the bombs! Why does she have bombs? Who gave her bombs? Why are there bombs? And why does it look like she's in Crisis City instead of Planet Wisp?
Catch me if you can.
Okay. What do you mean I only have 85 seconds? Excuse me? Oh, okay. Okay. Whatever. She's somewhere. God knows where, but she's somewhere. Oh, hey, there she is. Hi, Blaze. Ow. What you doing there, Blaze? Okay. That was strange, but okay. How is she flying? Sorry, I'm a little bit confused. How is she flying? Okay. Ow. That was a bomb. Oops. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop fun. This is not going well. It's not going well for me, Scoob. I'm leaning back now. I'm a little bit away from the mic. Pull me out, coach. I can't do this anymore. What is this one? Oh, game. Wall jump, stop, and light speed dash away to the goal before time runs out. That's probably fine. I sort of know how to do those things. They involve pressing the buttons. Down my controller at the buttons. I think the only button I don't use is circle. Where am I? Where am I? Can we start over? Why was the triangle button not working? Hello? Is it not? Oh, is it circle? It's circle. God dang it. I went the wrong way. I swear to God, I thought it was square. But no, it's circle. Oh, well. An attempt was made there. Well. Oh, Oh. Luckily, I don't have life for this section. Yeah! 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 But I don't gain time back, which is part of the problem. I just want to finish the game. I just want to finish the game. That's all I'm looking for at this point. I just want to finish the game, dude. What? Oh. Fascinating. Press the triangle button! The stream buffers for me. It just shows freeze from a vector. I didn't realize it was buffering. I haven't been checking the colors at the moment. I'm sorry. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But it is funny that it's specifically just showing you vector. Okay! Why did you not press the button? Okay. Oh! Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. Oh, okay. Doo-doo. Hey, we did it! Just barely. D rank. We are not trying again. Excuse you. We have 2 more leaves to go and also to get the Chaos Emerald. But yeah, they couldn't figure out a way to get the... I passed it. I passed it. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. I passed it. Let me out. Oh. Okay, thank you. Where's this bad boy going? Over here. It is, in fact, art. Cool. Alright. Yeah, we have to do this as well as, is this also? I think this is also Planet Wisp. Is this one Planet Wisp? It is in fact Planet Wisp. I am not writing those dang cards. That's not happening. Vector. Point. What is the point one? Boost the goal before time runs out to earn the Endless Boost skill. Oh, that's fun. Endless Boost. But yeah, they couldn't figure out how to fit in the 7th Chaos Emerald into, like, the gameplay because there's... You fight a rival, you get a Chaos Emerald, you beat the boss, you get a Chaos Emerald, but there's only 3 different parts, so there's only 2 emeralds you can get per part, so that's 6. Quick maths. I had rings. What? Why was I not allowed to get hit? I'm so confused. What? Why was I not allowed to get hit? I don't collect the rings. Alright, we're slowing down a little bit. That's a little bit crazy. I have to get through this without getting hit. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I wasn't getting rings. Ow. Okay, we're no longer doing that. We are no longer doing this. We're going to a different one. What's the Vector one have for me? Sig has fallen down off of my desk. No! No! Sig is falling off of my desk, and I've lost a potato. There's like a squeezy toy on my desk that's also a potato that I got from my dad, because he got it from work for some reason. It is now on the floor, like many things around it. Pass notes back and forth with Vector until the clock misses the beat. I think I remember this one from Ojaxer's stream. Which means I'm probably going to fail it, because this requires you to have precise timing. We will try it once. Precisely one time. And then we will not try it again.
Think you can keep up with me?
Maybe. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, I do remember this one. Great. Good times were had by all, I'm pooped. I'm gonna try a Crisis City one now. Oh, the fact that it takes so long to load back in is very concerning. What's this one? 4-way cannons, go from 4-way cannon to another, get to the goal before time runs out. It's basically a barrel level from, Donkey Kong. From Donkey Kong. That's fine. Oh, yay! Hello! Why is it taking so long to load? I know that was gonna happen. I was taking a sip of my water as the level started. Oh, we're facing this way, okay. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. I don't care. Oh, I can't just go back down. Alright, that's... okay. Fascinating. There's no way for me to grab that, I feel like. Okay. Because there's only so long you're able to stay within the cannon. Okay. Be careful. Be careful, Sonic. Be careful, Sonic! Okay. Okay. Okay, you stay there, buddy. You stay there. You have a good time now, you hear? Alright. What? Oh. Why does this keep happening? What am I doing wrong exactly? Okay. I didn't know there were ones from the top. I could barely see them. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, that's fine and normal and dandy. I was going to say I'm starting to get hungry, but I'm not really. I had lunch closer to around 2 today, so it is currently around 6-ish, so I'm not super hungry at the moment. But I am incredibly tired. I'm going to just go around you. Okay. We good now? How am I supposed to get past that thing? Is my biggest question. How do I get past that guy? And when were the flames off? When exactly were the flames off? Thanks. Don't. Thank you. It won't even let me grab that guy. Maybe I should have just saved this. Maybe I should have just saved this. Yeah, man. Oh, we love it. We love it out here in the heat. If I call it quits, then I barely have anything left for a stream, and I don't really have a PS3 game available. this one. Put the brain to the test by hitting switches to get to the goal in time. Switcheroo? Switcheroo. Be smart. Just be smart, Forehead. After the stream is over, I'm going to go back to playing Minecraft. Mindy Crafty. Is that going to be heading towards me, or no? It is not going to be heading towards me. Okay. What's the point of that back wall then? Oh. Okay. Ow. Oh, okay. So they're a limited time, is what they are. Oh no, it's not that. It's once you press a switch, you can no longer press another switch. The bird noises are driving me up a wall, I think. Literally just a single ring. Any ring is good. Oh, okay, that works, sure. Got it. Get a little extra time on that. Not that I'm going to get S rank, but you know, that'd be fun. Okay. Huh. What did that do? Oh, okay. Okay. What does this one do? That one does that. Oh, sorry. I gotta be careful here. Excuse me. Alright, here we go. Does this one turn this one on? These are very finicky, I gotta say. Oh. Well, it did nothing for me. Okay, that one's gone now. Okay. You wanna... Okay. Whoops. Don't. Thank you. Oh, it's right over there. Cool. Alright, so then... Top one then? Oh, not top one. Got it. Thank you. Ooh. Top one? Top one. I can't wall jump on that. Got it. Oh, no, we got it. Okay. This? No. Oops. Top one. Oh wait, no. It's this one. This one? Okay. And then through here. Not quite what I was looking for, but... there we go. Did that activate something, or what does this one activate? Okay. Though I think we might need to activate that one. Cool. Alright, that wasn't too bad. It took me a little while, but it wasn't too bad. Now I just have to go to, Rooftop Run. First thing that came to my mind was Apado, second thing that came to my mind was Rainforest Cafe. Let's go to Rainforest Cafe, everybody. I've never been to one. Apparently it's a very, very loud and overwhelming sensory experience, which is so cool. I forgot to get the key! Whoops, whoops, whoops. Music. No, come back. No, come back, music. Oh, dang it. Okay, hang on. I have to get the key anyways. It's over there. Oh, it's the wrong key. Where's the other key then? Where's the key for Planet Wisp? Oh, it's right there. Okay, let's go back up there and get the thing for that. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that's exactly where I wanted to go. Thanks, game. I can't for the life of me get up there. That is so strange. This is going to end up being a 3-hour stream at this rate, which is not great. I don't like that. Not a huge fan of that. Okay. Huh. Got it. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom, save the planet from disaster. I would like to go up there, perhaps. I would like to maybe perhaps go up into that area. That would be nice, thank you. Okay. Alright, so this... what is this one? It is also Crisis City. Never mind. That one's Crisis City. This one is not Crisis City. This is a ring one. This is not the one ring one. So, it's a different ring one. Smash all barrels to get the rings inside and grab a set number of war times up. Okay, that's just literally a thing, like a mission that you would get in Sonic Unleashed. The whole, like, get 100 rings. One of my clips is from one of those levels. On Twitch, that is to say. $250. Gotcha. How did I not get any of those rings just now? What? Okay. Have a good sleep. Be careful. I'm restarting this. Very early in the evening. Please stay safe. Okay. Oh, my time is very limited. Just noticed that. Okay, so down here, we got a barrel. Oh, that's not very many rings. That's what the problem is. I see. Very few rings to pick up over here. This might be a challenge, like an actual challenge at this point. Uh-oh! Okay, no, we might make it. Oh, we got it. 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 We're fine. Really? Really? Okay, we got enough. So, technically speaking, we're done. Like, it'll just eventually end it. Oh. Fascinating. Do I have to get to the goal, or like... I'm going to get to the goal anyways. Okay, I have 3 seconds remaining on the clock to get to the goal. I have no clue if I needed to get to the goal, but I did it. No, I would not like to try again. Thank you. Alright. Rival battle time. This one's gonna suck. You all know who it is. Alright, what's our prize? Aside from the key. It's art. Yeah? Cool. Alright, where's the key for that level? I actually don't know where it could possibly be. Oh wait, it's the one that's up top, isn't it? Alright. Up here. Yep, there it is. Alright. We got the boss key. Unfortunately though, we can't go to the boss just yet. We have something else we gotta do first. If we head back over here... Hi, Silver! And every night, I lay awake and find an absolution. Sonic, is that really you, or are you some kind of fake sent for the Chaos Emeralds? A fake? A fake Sonic? A fake? Fortunately, the music won't be Dreams of Absolution, but I appreciate the music being in the overworld. I love that song so much, and like the artist has made like 5 different remixes of it for some reason. It's like their like most favorite song or something, or just some like really want to pander to the fans. I don't really know. Alright, here we go. It's not that this isn't a bad song. I don't even know if this plays in Sonic 06 though. Does this play during the rival battles then? It might. Ow. Fun fact, this voice for, this particular voice for Silver is done by Quentin Flynn. Ow. Oh boy howdy.
Give up!
Who also voices Axel in Kingdom Hearts. At least I'm not losing rings, that's nice. Can I please get to him? Silver! Stop with the cars, man! Got him. That's one down. Take this. Got him. Do 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 do. But unfortunately, Quentin Flynn is not a great guy, so he no longer voices Silver the Hedgehog. And instead, now we have Bryce Papenbrook, whose voice I do not like at all whatsoever. like it fits Silver because he's like, you know, anime shonen protagonist type of deal going on there, but like it kind of sucks to have him be the current voice.
Give up!
Ow. Oh. Silver. Come on, man. Fine. Go. 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 Got him. Make this go faster. Okay.
Give up!
Okay. Do do do. Alright, here we go.
Take this!
Got him. God, why does it take so much of my boost? Okay. Go. 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 Got him.
Give up!
Okay. Oh! Fresh Patrick sure does voice white-haired anime boys. He tends to. It's primarily that he voices, like, protagonist types. Like, his big claim to fame is voicing Eren Yeager in Attack on Titans. And then, of course, Makoto Naegi from Danganronpa. But he also voices, Nagisa in, that's his name, right? Kaoru?
Meteor smash!
What do you mean? Oh, he does Henry Fire Emblem. Okay, that's neat. I don't think I knew that, actually. Oh god, Silver's dead. There he goes! Yeah, he also voices Komaeda, because, that's the case in Japanese as well, is that the person who voices Makoto also voices, Komaeda, Nagito Komaeda. Silver got served. As the kids say, get wrecked. That's not all what the kids say. The kids probably most likely say get dunked on, potentially. I don't know. I don't know what's hip with the kids. I just found out about Idge the other day. It's, I burst out laughing, which is the new, like, Lamau. That's the new one with the kiddos. What if I went into the final boss and I just had Sonic Boom playing instead of the actual final boss music? It'd be funny, but it wouldn't help. Ah, whoops, this isn't the final boss. I did in fact have enough time. I did in fact have enough here that I could have, like, done another stream. Oh well. It's too late now. We're in this. We're in the long haul here. This is not the final boss. E-G-G-M-A-N. This is fun because I actually haven't played this boss on stream in the game it's originally from. You take damage when you, when you take damage, you lose all the range you collected. This is Egg Dragoon, originally in Sonic Unleashed, and you played it as the Werehog. So similarly to the previous boss, which you just played as regular Sonic for, to fight against Perfect Chaos instead of, Super Sonic, we're playing as regular Sonic here instead of Werehog Sonic. Egg Dragoon. I love the music here. They didn't really remix it too much, but it's like really good music. But get ready for one of these lines of all time. Ow. Burn! Time for a change of pace! Oh god.
Time for a change of pace.
Time for a change of pace! That's pretty much the entirety of this, What happened with the camera there? The entirety of this, boss fight, which is so cool. I do not seem to be able to, do a drift, which is interesting. Why is that happening? I'm not allowed to have rings. Freeze! There he is. Hi, Eggman. Okay. I got a ring. Never mind. I got a ring. Would you like to let me a little bit closer, perhaps? Okay, here we go. Time for a change of pace! I'm really bad at this game. Oh my god!
Time for a change of pace.
It's time for a change of pace, folks.
Here goes.
Here goes. I'm gonna lose all the rings that I have to collect. I missed all those rings. That's so cool.
Freeze.
Oh.
Burn.
Okay. Come on. God dang it. Okay. I have to do this from back here, I think.
Here goes. Time for a change of pace.
It's time for a change of pace. Not bad. I swear to God, Eggman!
Here goes.
Eggman, I'm tired. I want to go home, man. Time for a change of pace. Whoop. Not bad. We're just stuck in 2D mode for some reason. I don't know what's happening here. Bro, come on, man. Burn.
Time for a change of pace. Time for a change of
I'm out of rings, I'm out of rings, I'm out of rings! I, like, can't control Sonic at all right now. Okay, back here. Okay.
Here goes. Time for a change of pace.
Okay, here we go. I don't know why it's freeze and burn. You know what? I think it's because he, like, parks himself in, like, what is the equivalent of the North Pole. And, like, it's, like, Lava Town in there. But it's also, like, freezing outside, probably? I swear to God, the iframes. Okay. I keep not jumping there. Oh boy, howdy.
Here goes.
Okay, here we go.
Prepare to be skewered.
Prepare to be skewered. Get some things in. Okay, so that's how I move around.
Parallel attack.
Oh. Okay.
Parallel attack.
Ah, I wasn't high enough for that.
Prepare to be skewered.
It's time for a change of pace.
Here goes.
Here goes. Come on, man. Drop him. Drop him like it's hot.
Here
Come
goes.
on. Why is he not giving me the... Great. I hate you. I hate you and everything that you stand for.
Parallel attack.
I wanna stop now, but I also am so close to the end that it feels like if I stop now, then I will never play this game again, which happens often. I am no longer having a fun time, is what the problem is. Okay.
Time for a change of pace.
Cool.
Time for a change of pace.
I'm gonna be back here where it can't reach me. This boss fight sucks. This boss fight sucks when I'm very tired.
Time for a change of pace.
Here we go. Got it.
Not bad.
And I can't, like, get that one.
Here goes. Time for a change of pace.
I swear to God.
Here goes.
Got him.
Here goes. Time for a change of pace.
Alright, we're getting there. We are no longer getting there. Oh my God, that was close.
Here goes.
Gotcha.
Not bad.
Not bad. Oh, we're on to the next phase, I guess.
Time for a change of pace.
Oh, I'm so close. Oh, I'm so close. Ow. Got him.
Not bad.
What do you mean I died? How did I die? Sonic's corpse was just laying there. Okay. Yes, good.
Here goes. Time for a change of pace. Here goes. Time for a change of pace.
God, the Sonic Unleashed music is just so very good. Oh. Why do you, like, leave the area with two there? Keep going. Keep going. I apologize for not talking much. I am super focusing now. I'm very tired and I just want this to be over. I'm just a little more frustrated than anything else. That the fact that I have, like, I'm playing this a lot on the delay, and it probably is. Part, at least a good chunk of it is delay. But it also just feels bad. Because I do enjoy this game, outside of streaming it. I mean, I should probably, like, at some point get, like, an Elgato or something. I don't know. Maybe that'll help.
Not bad. Here goes.
Where am I?
Prepare to be skewered. Parallel attack. Prepare to be skewered.
I'm out of rings. I'm out of rings! Okay, here we go.
Here goes.
I got one while I was jumping over it. Ugh!
Here goes. Prepare to be skewered.
I hate.
Separation attack. Prepare to
I can beat this game. I've beat it before.
Here goes.
Okay.
Time for a change of pace.
Whoa. Can I get some rings maybe? That would be nice. Okay. No, I'm not allowed to get rings. I'm sorry. Okay.
Prepare to be skewered.
Yes, good.
Separation attack.
Okay.
Prepare to be skewered.
I hope you are having a nice evening regardless of how I've been doing this evening.
Here goes. Prepare to be skewered.
Why did I not get any rings?
Parallel attack.
What got me? What hit me exactly?
Prepare to be skewered. Here goes.
What? What was that?
Here goes.
Why did he move back when I attacked him? I took my hand off the controller because my hands are getting sweaty.
Skewered.
I have like no time to react to these.
Parallel attack.
I have 0 rings. This ain't good. This isn't good. Where are the rings? We're done for tonight. I'm gonna come back and play this game and then we'll have the finale of it and then we'll do something else afterwards. I've been going on for too long now, and I'm tired. So we're gonna stop for now. Don't know how Sonic keeps doing this to me, but it does, and it sucks. But that's gonna be it for today. I'm most likely not going to raid into anybody. I don't even know who is currently streaming. I don't really know. I don't really care. Apologies. We'll come back to this with a fresh base sometime next week. I don't know when exactly, but we'll do that and maybe like do some Minecraft or something afterward. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Okay. Bye.